Welcome guys to the Meet Damien channel, and congratulations to the Ethereum investors. We're gonna start this today's live stream here looking at the price of Ethereum first, because Ethereum is doing some good things right now. Currently up $139, currently trading at $4,048. We're getting close to hitting the highs that Ethereum made back in, I believe, December of last year. We haven't seen Ethereum this high all throughout 2025. We're at the highs for the year. But looking at this, we've seen Ethereum at $4,109 on December 16th. And we're like, what? $59 away from hitting that high watermark there. Ethereum is doing some great things here. I have this line marked off, this red line, 4011, but I try to make it 4009. I have to like zoom in and make it exactly 4009, but sorry, 4109. That's the mark that we're looking for. Yeah, Ethereum getting close to hitting that mark here soon. Could happen today, could happen tomorrow. We've seen Ethereum go up like 6% yesterday. We're only up 3.65% today, so maybe this could happen later on today. But by God, all right, Ethereum is doing some things here, and now we kind of have to like see, where could Ethereum go next? All right. I do have this Fibonacci analysis over here, okay, and I got the Fib extension levels here. I think I need to adjust this to 4,109. Let me just adjust this to make it exact. 4,109. Yep, around there. I like that. Okay, and we're looking at the 1272, saying that we could see Ethereum continue to blast off towards $4,800 here. Okay, and then we got the 1618 saying that we could see a $5,700, $80 Ethereum. I believe that would happen later on in 2025. In the next 3 to 4 months here. Let me just do a quick sound check. Alright, I can hear myself. Very good, very good. So those are the upside targets for Ethereum. If for some reason, we get some rejection off of the $4,100 level, which is quite possible, we might come and revisit the 0.786 at the $3,500 level, where we had some sideways trading action over the last couple of weeks at 3,500. Seems to be the average area that Ethereum was trading at. But yeah, Ethereum is ready to break out, and this is great for altcoins and altcoin season, because a lot of these Ethereum investors who've been in it for like 4 or 5 years, they've been in it for like a couple of cycles now. They can actually sell their Ethereum at a profit and start putting it into some of these other altcoins like Sui, like AVAX, like Cardano, Aptos, Bitcoin Cash, Aerodrome, all these coins, right? And they can start putting in the meme coins, because they're now going to start to feel like they're wealthy, just like the Bitcoin investors felt like they were wealthy earlier this year, okay? So you might see a rotation out of Ethereum going into some of the mid caps here and some of the smaller micro caps. This is really good to see for altcoin season, okay? A lot of Ethereum investors felt, beaten down and battered, especially down here in April when we saw like a $1,300 Ethereum. It was looking very bleak out there. But Ethereum pulled itself up by its bootstraps. We kind of did some sideways trading back in May and June. And now we're finally feeling a little bit of a wealth effect for Ethereum. And I think, there'll be a rotation from Ethereum into some of these other altcoins, just like we had with XRP. XRP also did the same thing. We're getting a little bit of rotation out of XRP. For those who want to get out of XRP, they can sell at higher prices and start getting into some of these other altcoins. So I'm expecting altcoin season to start kicking up in the full gear here. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance. I'm expecting that, with Bitcoin doing pretty much nothing today, actually down 0.7% today, and Ethereum actually up and getting near higher highs for the year, I'm expecting Bitcoin dominance to actually go down some more here. And yeah, of course, there it is. Bitcoin dominance now at 60.4% today. 60.43%. Nice red candle here. We were talking about this yesterday on the live stream. We were talking about how there was a bear flag, right? Okay, let me just redraw this again. Okay, we saw this bear flag that was forming on Bitcoin dominance. And if we broke out of this bear flag, this is what it's looking like. It looks like we're breaking out of the bear flag today, okay? It's saying that we could see Bitcoin dominance get down to like 56.13%. And when it does that, I mean, that's pretty much, you know, your altcoin season's in full gear. You could even use this trend analysis to kind of guess, like, you'll see altcoin season go into full gear. It looks like August 27th, if we keep up the trend here. On Bitcoin dominance going down. So I'm expecting like right before September, we might see altcoins, and a lot of people talking about getting rich off altcoins, and meme coins coming back into play again, and the altcoin season that we all been looking for. I mean, it looks like it started, you know, it started like right after the Genius Act got passed in the middle of July. Okay. After we got that signed into law, like, look at this. Bitcoin dominance has come down. Had a little bit of bear flag action. Now we're coming back. Looks like we're coming back down again, you know, with Ethereum now putting in some punches on Bitcoin. You know, finally punching at its own weight right now. But, yeah. We will take a look at some of the other altcoins besides Ethereum. We just took a look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin not really doing much today, but we can look at Bitcoin at some point. I think the next one I want to look at is XRP, but let's see what you guys have for requests, because I am taking requests here. Waza wants me to look at Uber. Okay, so that's a stock. I can do stocks. Thank you for that request. I am going to look at XRP before we look at Uber. Josh says, are we cooking? Yes, we are cooking. I'm cooking on my longs here for some of my altcoins that I'm doing leverage day trading on. We can take a look at that, see how my trades are doing, and then, you know, I'm also cooking on my Solana long. I've been in that for like a couple of days, and I'm up like you know, a couple $100 on that. Let's see. What else? What else do we have for requests here? I think we saw Sui. Okay, we'll do Sui as a request here. Appreciate that request. But yeah, we are going to look at XRP because XRP actually did some big things. It had a big news event yesterday that got people excited. And then, Shin. I'm sorry, Arston is asking me about Shin. Okay, we can take a look at Shin, if that's a crypto or stock. Can you just clarify if that's a crypto or stock for me? And I see Lisa's in the chat. See you, Lisa. Let's make money. And then Kevin also in the chat. We're doing a YouTube and a TikTok live stream. So, you know, bear with me, guys. I try to get through your chats as best as I can. And we are going to do your requests here as well. So don't feel like you're getting left out, okay? It's just, you know, this is the beginning of the live stream. We usually talk about Bitcoin. But today it's the Ethereum show. And yesterday was the XRP show. Let's take a look at XRP, because XRP actually did pretty good yesterday. So we're looking at XRP currently trading at $3.28 here. Up, I'm sorry, down 1.1% today. So, you know, XRP kind of chilling out for a little bit here. Mainly because they hit a Fibonacci level here. I have drawn this Fibonacci analysis. I drew my fibs from $3.66 down to the $1.90 level, where we saw XRP at $1.90 back on June 22nd, and it gives me these Fibonacci numbers here. And yeah, XRP, you know, did its thing back in July. Had a little bit of a correction. We came down. We actually came all the way down to the 0.5 retracement. Recovered ourselves back up to 0.618, and now we're kind of fighting resistance at 0.786 retracement at $3.28. XRP could, you know, kind of chill out here, go sideways at $3.28 before we get another lift off to a higher price, and we might see 366 all over again for XRP, maybe later on this weekend, maybe next week, okay? But it doesn't surprise me that we kind of took a break here at $3.28 because that's the 0.786 retracement. However, you know, yesterday we did see XRP go up about 11%. Could it do that again? You know, could it do that tomorrow, right? If it goes up another 11%, I think that puts it up at the $3.66 area. Let me just quickly measure that out here. You know, how much more do we need to go to get XRP up to 366? We have to go up another 12% roughly. So yeah, you know, XRP can do that tomorrow. Okay. So I think XRP is looking pretty solid as well. Okay. If I look at the oscillators for XRP, you can see that RSI, right, this red line here, sitting at 59.93, so we're not overbought like we were back in the middle and end of July. So XRP has the green light to go to higher prices if it wants to. You also see that you also have selling pressure starting to die down on the MACD. Okay, MACD selling pressure was the worst last Saturday, and then we got some pink candles here, and I'm expecting this pink to start turning into green candles as we get some buying pressure showing up for XRP. That could happen tomorrow going into the weekend here. And then also looking at Market Cipher B, okay, this is like my little cheat sheet. This was saying that, you know, this red dot came in on July 20th saying that you should have sold your XRP to avoid that little correction that we got. However, if you stuck with it, we did get a green buy dot that came in yesterday saying that yesterday was a good day to start buying XRP, okay, as we saw it go up 11%. So we got the green buy dot here, and we're just waiting for more money to flow into XRP to see if XRP can get up to that $3.66 level all over again. And if it does that and we continue to be bullish, then the next upside target for XRP is going to be $4.13. Could be where XRP takes a breather. That's the 1272 fib extension level. And then of course maybe later on in 2025, maybe later on this month or next month, you might see $4.74 XRP, which is where the 1618 is sitting at. Okay. And then later on in 2025, I do expect XRP to try to make a run for $6.50, which is where the 2618 fib extension level is sitting at. So those are your price targets for XRP. Okay. I didn't really do downside targets, but you know, hopefully XRP doesn't decide to rug pull us and come down to $3 again. But if it does, we do have support at the 0.618 level for our Fibonacci retracement. And I think that's your downside target for XRP. I think this time around, the XRP army should be able to defend the $3 level and not let it go below $3, in my opinion. Okay. All right, moving on from XRP to, we're going to take a look at Uber because we got a request for Uber, so why not? I believe stocks are still trading. It's 2:43 p.m. Eastern time. Usually stock market closes at 4 p.m. Eastern time, so we should be able to see some live trading here. We should see some movement here on Uber. And right now, Uber is currently trading at $89.55. I haven't really done any chart work on here because no one has requested this on my channel yet. I appreciate you coming up with that request. We're using moving averages here. I will probably draw a Fibonacci as well to figure out where where Uber might go next. Okay. But just eyeballing the chart here, it looks like we topped out here on July 9th at $97.72. So that's your high water mark here. And I will do a Fibonacci from there. Moving on down to the swing low. Looks like Uber got down on April 7th, down to like $60.63. So I'll put my fib down there, okay? So now I have some things to work with here on Uber. I like the fact that Uber, right, it looks like for like the past 8 to 9 months here, you've been making higher lows and higher highs. You know, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Could you be on your way to make a higher high at some point? Okay. If you do make that higher high, you do have a fib extension level here that says the 1272 says we could see $107 Uber in the future here. Not sure when, but it's saying that it's a possibility. And then you got a 1618 saying that $120 Uber should be what you should be targeting. And I think that's about roughly a 33% move from where you are right now. Okay. If you measure from where we are right now to 120 bucks, you got like a 35% move up on price possibly for Uber, and that's a nice payday for a lot of stock market investors. Okay. But if Uber decides to come down to lower prices here, and we lose this low that we made here on August 1st, where we were as low as $85.42, then you might actually, retest that $85 level, because that's actually where the 618 retracement and 65 this golden pocket level's at for the Fibonacci. I would expect $83, $84 to hold, and if it doesn't hold, then you might lose that level and come down probably to the 100-day moving average, which is sitting at $79.93, which is also confluent with the 0.5 retracement level. So I think that is another level. If you want to get some cheaper Uber, $79 should be your target. Okay. Not sure if Uber is actually going to come down to the 200-day moving average, but that's sitting at $77, which is also confluent with the 0.382 retracement. So these are your deep retracement levels that you want to be looking for: $79 and also $74. You can also use the 100-day and the 200-day if you don't really know how to draw out your fibs on your Fibonacci. I think 100-day and 200-day should act as good support for Uber if it actually makes a deep retracement down to that level for any reason. I'm not sure why that would be what the reason would be. Maybe a bad earnings report, maybe something bad with the company getting sued by somebody. But looks like 100-day, 200-day should be your good support zones. But for now, right, looks like the 50-day, which is also confluent with the 618, that should be the area that should hold support. Whether you're a Fibonacci trader or a moving average trader, or you do both like me, I like it when I see confluence between the two. And I think 618 at $83, $84 Uber, that should be where you realistically you could probably scoop up some cheaper Uber, later on, next week, or later on this month. You should probably target your buy limit orders at that area right there. Okay, that's just my opinion, but you can do whatever you want to do. But you made the request for Uber, and that is the targets that I would have for Uber, in my opinion. All right, moving on from Uber, we're gonna go back in the cryptocurrency world and look at SUI. Let's see how SUI's doing. SUI currently trading at $3.83. I do have previous chart work here with SUI. Moving average looking like they're all over the place, and the Fibonacci is also kind of, all these rainbow colors. I get it, but what have we seen with SUI? All right, SUI kind of almost got a bounce off the 50-day moving average. It stayed near the 50-day moving average. Lost it a little bit here last weekend. Played games a little bit here by wicking down below it, but the 50-day moving average was able to hold support here for SUI, and that 50-day was also confluent with this 618 retracement, that golden pocket level once again coming into play. Okay, that 618 retracement at $3.42, that held for us, and now we're making our way back up to the 786 retracement at $3.80. Okay, so I would expect maybe SUI to kind of chill out for a little bit here, unless altcoin season really is in full gear and people start pumping more money into SUI. I would expect SUI to kind of have a hard time, maybe go sideways a little bit at 380, which we're already at right now, before it tries to make a move up to higher prices. And the higher price, the high water mark it needs to get above is $4.29, which is where SUI was trading at. Man, I actually gotta adjust this now, because we actually saw SUI get up to like 444. So let me just quickly make that adjustment. Okay, 444. Yeah, that's right there. Okay, so get above 444 on SUI, which is where you're at back on July 27th and yeah, July 28th. And you might see SUI get up to the 1272 at $5.09 SUI. Okay, that's my swing trade target for SUI. That could happen later on this month. That could happen next month. Okay, then we got the 1618 saying that we could see SUI get up to like $5.92. And then for your longer term traders that are looking for a higher price on SUI, we do have a 2618 that says that SUI could get up to $8.32, and that would probably be later on in 2025 as well. I don't expect that to happen next week, okay, or even tomorrow. But yeah, Sui looking fine, getting support off the 50-day moving average. It's nice to see that. I'm glad they didn't have to bring it down further down to the 200-day moving average. Okay. I guess downside target would just be, you know, can Sui actually hold the 50-day moving average if it has to do it again. Right now, that 50-day moving average is at 342. So if you want some cheaper Sui and you think you might get lucky enough to scoop it up at that area, you probably put your buy limit order at 342 and see if it hits. Okay. I don't think Sui is one of the stronger cryptocurrencies, stronger altcoins here. I would expect it to actually stay above its 50-day moving average. I would not expect it to go below to the 200 or the 100. But I think an explosive move is coming for Sui because look at this. The 100 is still below the 200, and the 200 is also below the 50. Okay, this 100 needs to self-correct itself and start coming back up. So when you see the moving averages get tight like they are right now, it usually means an explosive move is coming soon. And I think, yeah, we're gonna see $5 or even $6 Sui sooner rather than later, in my opinion. Let's see what we got here for some more requests here. We got a request for Shiba Inu and Pulse Chain. Okay, I will write that down. Appreciate that request. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Let's try to get the likes to match the amount of people in the live stream. And for my TikTok guys, if you double tap your screen, that's how you send me a like. I appreciate that if you do that. Donna's asked me top 5 cryptocurrency on Dex Screener. I don't do Dex Screener. That's how I get in trouble with TikTok. TikTok doesn't like it when I go on Dex Screener, so I'm not gonna do that. And then I got a request here for Polkadot and Harmony 1. Okay, I'll try to put that in there. So Dot and Harmony 1. Okay. And let's see. Appreciate you guys following me. If you're new to the Meet Damien channel and you're liking this analysis, go ahead and hit that follow button. I see I have a request here for Mamo and Pepe. And then Velo Protocol. Jeez, you guys gonna keep me busy today. Alright, Velo, Pepe, and let's see. Mamo. Alright, I'll try to get to them. We're gonna try to do like an hour and a half, 2-hour live stream here. So we should have the time to do these requests. Appreciate you guys giving it to me. Alright. Alright. Another one that we gotta do. We gotta do Cardano as well. Alright. Cardano. Alright, looks like I gotta get right into it. Let's see, did I miss any? I hope I didn't. Hopefully I didn't miss any. Yeah, we're gonna check out Mamo. I got you, Toshi. And then Mark says gaming is skyrocketing. Alright. Alright, moving on. Let's go into Shin. Okay, because that was a request that I got. And then we'll look at Shiba Inu after that. Unless you meant to say Shiba Inu. I don't see a Shin here. Let's see. Somebody here says they have a fair amount of Pudgy Penguins. That's cool, that's cool. I'm actually in a Pudgy Penguin day trade right now. So I think this guy meant to say Shiba Inu. So we're going to take a look at Shiba Inu because I have seen Shiba Inu come up a few times already. Shiba Inu currently trading at 1,323, up 2.72% today. Catching some bids here, making some higher lows here. That's good to see. The high water mark that we got to get above. I want to see Shiba Inu get above 1,600, which is where you were trading at back here on July 22nd. We might have some upward resistance here at 1371, which is where the 200-day moving average is sitting at. Okay, so be prepared for a little bit of rejection unless Shiba Inu can slice through it. If we slice through it, then yeah, we want to see if Shiba Inu can get up to like 1,600 and get above this previous high here actually start making higher highs for a change, okay? Because Shiba Inu has made lower highs all throughout the last year now, okay? We have seen, you know, some nice price action here back in December of 2024, and then just lower high, lower high. It's kind of almost like a double top here, okay? And then we made a lower high here, and then we kind of made like higher highs going into like April, only for us to then come back down and make a lower high. So stop making lower highs and let's start making higher highs again for Shiba Inu and show that we're capable of going to higher prices here and making an uptrend. I'm going to turn on the VRVP indicator here for Shiba Inu, because I feel like that's going to give us some good resistance areas to look at. Okay, so I got the VRVP indicator here on the right. That's this green and red indicator. The highest volume node is this blue line, this point of control at 1240. That's going to be your downside target if Shiba Inu decides to come back down to lower prices. We want to see 1240 hold and then try to make a run for higher prices here. And if we do make a run for higher prices here, you have a high volume node at 1515, and then also high volume here at 1600. But get past 1600, and it's off to the races for Shiba Inu, because the volume drops here on the VRVP, and you probably won't get any resistance until you get to 1860 on Shiba Inu. And then you got another gap in the volume here, and then you got probably 2000 would be your next take profit target. If you're able to make it up to that level, okay? And then the volume drops again a little bit more, and you got some more resistance at 2100, 2150 to be exact, okay? So those are your targets for Shiba Inu to the upside as of now, okay? We'll come and revisit Shiba Inu, but let's first see if Shiba Inu can actually get past 1600, and then we'll talk about maybe going to higher prices after that, okay? Alright, so that's Shiba Inu. We'll move on to Cardano, and then Pulse Chain, and then we got a bunch of more requests after that to look at. All right, let's take a look at Cardano USD. So we have Cardano currently trading at 79 cents. Let me get rid of the VRVP so it's not so messy here. Cardano currently trading at 79 cents, up 0.85% today. Cardano obviously had a pretty good altcoin season, like a lot of these altcoins, back in December of 2024, but it's been, you know, lower highs and lower lows ever since then. But now it looks like Cardano is actually starting to make some higher highs here, okay? We have high watermark here back in May where we got up to like 86 cents, then we came back down, all right? And then over here on July 21st, it was nice to see us get it to 93 cents. So we actually made a higher high compared to what we did here back in May. Very good to see. And now it looks like we got a bounce off the 100-day moving average, which is this blue line here, which was like around 69 cents. And now Cardano is trying to basically create a higher low. And then we want to see another higher high. We want to get above 93 cents here on Cardano. Possibly make it up to the 1272 at $1.04, or maybe even a $1.18, which is the 1618. But those are the marks, the take profit targets that I would put for Cardano if we make it past 93 cents here, okay? But zooming in a little bit more on Cardano. Right now, you might see Cardano kind of trade sideways a little bit as we contend against the 618 and 65 retracement. Until we can get some more money flowing into Cardano, you're going to probably trade sideways here for a little bit and then come up to the 85 cent level, which is where the 0.786 retracement is. And that might actually be another resistance level for Cardano, okay? Going forward, just looking at the Fibonacci numbers here. But yeah, those are your upside targets for Cardano. Downside, if Cardano was to lose its momentum here and come down to lower prices, I would expect the 100-day moving average to act as support again at 69 cents, which is where the 0.382 retracement is sitting at. So 69 cents, let's see if that can hold if we do come down. Maybe you can be lucky enough to put in some buy limit orders at 69 cents or 70 cents. Scoop up some cheaper Cardano if you're lucky enough to get some at that level. Okay? Alright, moving on from Cardano, we'll take a look at the Pulse Chain. Okay? And then Polkadot. Alright, so now we're looking at Pulse Chain. Currently trading at 0.012 pennies, down 1% as of today. But you know, Pulse Chain looks like it's doing some positive price action here. You got above the 200-day moving average, this red line. Anytime you're above the 200-day moving average, in my opinion, you can consider yourself to be bullish. Every time you lose it, you're bearish. Okay. So Pulse Chain, as I start to zoom out, just to get an idea as like what this thing has done. Pulse Chain had its best days in December of last year, just like a lot of altcoins. Okay, and then it made lower highs and lower lows, and it was in this downtrend for the longest time here, and then it broke out of the downtrend, not vigorously, but it did it just by going sideways, and that's good enough, I guess. Okay, and now we're out of the downtrend, and we're creating higher highs, I believe. Yeah. The last high here was back here in May at like roughly 0.009 pennies, okay? And it looks like on July 30th, you got up to 0.014 pennies, almost a penny and a half, okay? So that's good to see that Pulse Chain was able to do that. We're now making higher highs, and now we're looking to make higher lows. Could this have been the higher low being formed here that is then going to turn us into creating a higher high at some point? We got to get above that 0.014 penny level here, okay? Get above that, and then maybe you might see some resistance at the 1272 extension at 0.017 pennies, or you can see some more resistance here at the 1618 at 2 penny level here. I think 0.017 pennies and and 2 pennies is going to be your take profit target 1 and take profit target 2 respectively, okay? If we were to lose our momentum here and form a lower high, which would be devastating to see if it does do that, okay? We might come right back down to the 618 at 1 penny and revisit and retest that level. That also happens to be where this 21 EMA could provide support. If we lose this level, then we're most likely going to come down to the 200-day moving average as a support level at 0.0085 pennies. And that's almost confluent with the 0.382 retracement level here. Okay, those are your downside targets. Maybe you might be lucky enough to scoop up some cheaper Pulse Chain at the 200-day moving average, sitting at 0.0085 pennies. All right, moving on from Pulse Chain to Polkadot. And I do have some previous chart work here with Polkadot. Polkadot currently trading at $3.96. And what do we got here for Polkadot? Just zooming back out again. You know that Polkadot had some better days back in December, just like a lot of these other coins. December of 2024, making lower highs, lower lows, and obviously in a downtrend. But are you creating an uptrend here with Polkadot? As I start to zoom in here, looks like the lowest point, the low for the year was $3.01 on June 22nd here. You try to create a high watermark here at $4.67, where you got rejected off of the 200-day moving average, this red line here. And then you came down and you did a very steep, deep retracement down to the 0.236 retracement at $3.58. You actually came a little bit below that. Very scary to see this last Saturday. This thing came down to like $3.42, but that was the lowest price, and it was a higher low for Polkadot, okay? Because you did not go lower than what you did back here on June 22nd. And now we're trying to see if Polkadot can do a nice recovery, at least get back up to the 618, right, at $4.48, and then put yourself above that 200-day moving average at $4.30. I'm looking to see how Polkadot handles itself trying to get back up to that 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average is coming down, and it looks like the 0.5 retracement at $4.20 could act as resistance for some reason here. It might happen because of the 200-day and also just the 0.5 retracement. So I'm expecting 420. We'll see how it handles itself at 420, but after 420, we come up to 448. After 448, we'll see if we can make it up to 786 retracement at 488. We might get a little bit of resistance at that level, okay? And I'm just measuring this because this was what I saw, I saw Polkadot get up to like $5.39, right, back in May. that's going to be your take profit target if you're swing trading this, $5.39. Okay, and if you're able to get past that level, then we do have a 1618 that says we could see $6.86 polka dot later on in 2025. Okay, so that's your upside targets for now for polka dot. Oh no, I just moved my Fibonacci. All right, let me lock that thing in there for now. Okay. All right, so that's polka dot. Moving on from polka dot to we'll take a look at Velo, and then Harmony 1. Velo USD. So this is Velodrome. Velodrome currently trading at 0.0569 pennies, up 16% today. Oh, catching the bids. Okay, okay. But you got rejected off the 2-day. 2-day was sitting at 0.058 pennies. You came up a little bit higher than that today at 0.059 pennies. But obviously, you know, the sell orders came in and sent this price back down just a little bit. But let's see if Velodrome can able to get above that 200-day moving average and continue to be bullish here. Let's take a look at the oscillators. Is it overbought? On the RSI, you're at 59.58. Nope, you have the juice and momentum to continue up to higher prices if you want to here for Velodrome. Okay, and then just looking at the MACD here. Selling pressure is dying off, and this thing might start getting some green candles here. Okay. Alright. This looks similar to like XRP, I believe. And then you got the green buy dot that came in today, saying that you should be buying Velodrome today if you haven't done so already. Okay. Very interesting, very interesting. And if Velodrome was to continue past the 200-day moving average, you know, the next resistance is probably going to be these tops here. At 0.083 pennies. I already marked this level off because I looked at this chart before. I think 0.083, 0.084 is going to be a level for you to take profit on this asset, because this level has been support and resistance all the way back to like March of 2024. Okay, so that's your take profit target for Velodrome. And that's going to be a nice juicy gain. Let's see, how much of a gain is that going to be? Going from where you are right now to that level, about a 43%. Okay, if you're day trading, you know, slap on 10x leverage, and that turns into 430%. And that's a nice leverage trade, nice leverage long, in my opinion. So yeah, things are looking pretty decent for Velodrome. You're obviously making higher lows here. Okay. Now you just want to make higher highs. Let's get above what we did here on July 16th. Let's get above 0.066 pennies. Show that we're making higher highs and continue making higher lows, and you got yourself an uptrend that could send you up to 0.084 pennies here. All right, moving on from Velodrome, we'll take a look at Harmony 1. Is it yeah. Harmony 1 USD on OKX, baby. Okay, take a look at on that exchange here. S, you like that? You like the indicator on the side? That's actually called the VRVP, the volume range visual profile indicator. It's not really a heat map, but I guess you could call it a heat map. It just measures how much volume the price has at specific price levels. Okay, like, all right, this is not really giving me good data here, but that's the VRVP off to the right, that green and red indicator, and then you get the POC, the point of control, value area low, value area high. I actually have a video on TikTok that explains the volume range visual profile indicator. If you dig through my TikTok videos, you'll be able to see that, and you can also find it on the Meet Damien YouTube channel. Let me just go ahead and go over to my channel here. I do have a Meet Damien YouTube channel that you might want to check out, where I got all my content. You go over to videos, and you can see it right here. I got the VRVP indicator. It's about a how much of a 16-minute video, but I go into depth in explanation. It's like how to use the VRVP indicator and how to trade with it. I also got another tutorial video about how to use the Fibonacci tool on TradingView. So you might want to go check out the Meet Damien channel, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Okay, trying to build up my Meet Damien YouTube channel here. It's not as big of a following there as I do TikTok, but you know, I appreciate the subscribes if you're able to come on to the Meet Damien YouTube channel. And then yeah, you get all my content here, easy to find here. And then you also got my live streams here as well. You know, you can see me go live on YouTube as well. Okay. But yeah, definitely check out the Meet Damien YouTube channel if you haven't already. All right, let's go back to Harmony 1. Trading at 0.011 pennies here. Let me get rid of the VRVP for now. And I don't really have much data because this thing is trading on OKX. And this is very choppy, batchy trading. This is not a great chart. And I don't have many moving averages to work off of. But I'll just get rid of the moving averages. What I could do is I could just eyeball the chart and just look at the market structure. Obviously, you got a high here back in May, but you created a lower high here. However, you got a low here on June 22nd, and you're creating a higher low here. So this is just very interesting to see. So you kind of got like something like this going on here. Alright, so you got kind of almost like a descending triangle maybe. Or maybe a symmetrical triangle is being formed right now. So you got a symmetrical triangle being formed right here. And you can still trade this, you know, buy the bottom here, sell the top. Okay, when this thing gets up to like 0.013 pennies, you might get some resistance. And that's also like where some of these tops are at. Back here in June. And also here in March of this year. I'll probably plan on selling right over here at 0.0128 pennies here. I don't know if you're day trading this, but you're probably gonna get some resistance, come back down, you know, form a higher low, maybe at one penny again, and then come back up and then see if you can actually break through this 0.0128 penny level here. But that's all I can really do for OKX. I mean, I'm sorry, for Harmony here, because I don't really have that much data unless you know another exchange where this has been trading for a while. I can't really do much besides, you know, just do market structure analysis here. I see Darren is in the live stream here. Good to see you, Darren. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. And don't forget to share this with your friends too. You got Meet Damien over here giving some good technical analysis here on your coins and stocks. We actually talked about Uber. We had a request for Uber. Somebody wanted to look at the stock for Uber. But yeah, we'll move on from Harmony to Pepe and then Mamo. Alright. So take a look at Pepe, which is a very popular meme coin. We see that Pepe is currently trading at 1184, up 6.75% today, and creating higher lows. I can see that already. Let me just go ahead and just draw that out if it hasn't stuck out to you already. So you already have higher lows being formed. That's good to see. You got yourself an uptrend. However, you got lower highs here, so that's not too good to see. We want to start making higher highs here, but you got yourself almost another symmetrical triangle here on Pepe. Okay, and Pepe could be doing the same thing that we saw with Harmony, and when it comes up here, it might get rejected and make another lower high here for some reason. That would not be great to see, but it's still possible. All right, and let me just zoom out here a little bit. Do we have more data? I don't know. I think I need to look at another chart that has more data for Pepe. Let's see, Pepe on Binance. Yeah, that's probably better. Really? Pepe has Pepe? No, Pepe's been trading longer than March of 2025. Maybe on Bitstamp. All right, Bitstamp has more data. Okay, yeah. All right. So I'll get rid of all this previous chart work here. And I'll just draw this out one more time here. So these are your trend lines, okay, for Pepe. Like I said, I think Pepe could get a you know a bounce. I'm sorry, get a rejection off of this level here. Probably like around like 1242. This is a level that it was trading at sideways back here in July, and also some tops here back in June. So let me go just draw that out. Okay, I think Pepe could get rejected right here at 1316 for some reason. Okay. Let me go ahead and throw on moving averages here. See if moving averages might act as support or resistance. So Pepe clearly got the bounce off the 200-day and 100-day moving average. This blue and red line here. That was good to see. And looks like we're kind of like hovering near the 21 EMA at 1189. It's acting as resistance as of now. But that's not going to probably be strong resistance. This thing could continue going up to higher prices here. And I think that 1316 is the level that you got to look for, where people might click the sell button on you. And that makes sense, because that's like a 30% increase from where Pepe was just a few days ago. Someone might think that's good enough for them to sell. Let me see if there's any Fibonacci's numbers we could use here. Ooh, there we go. Alright, you got the 618 at 1327, which is, remember I said 1316 is the level to watch out for? I think this is, the 618 is agreeing that that's the level to be watching out for. I think that's your target, your take profit target 1 on Pepe. And then you will see how Pepe does getting up to the 1463 level, which is the highs here back in July 22nd. And it'd be nice to see if Pepe can get back to 1637, which is where I think Pepe was trading at in May 23rd here. So those are your levels to be looking out for. You can use these Fibonacci levels here for Pepe. But I think right now 1316 is your first take profit target on Pepe. Alright, moving on to Mambo. Bro, what is this? I don't have that much data here from Mambo. Not much I can do here. There's only like 3 candles. It started trading on Wednesday. Maybe there's another exchange where it's been on for a while. Let's try it on Mexi, because I know Mexi usually gets it first. Alright, yeah, there we go. Got more data here with Mexi. Mexi usually gets cryptocurrencies first before the other cryptocurrency exchanges do. Them and Binance, they're pretty good at getting the coins first. But this one still doesn't have that much data, and it's been trading since May 27th of 2025 here. And it looks like it's currently trading at 15.5 cents here. Down 12% today, having a bad day. Okay, alright. But you did make higher highs than what you did here. We had a high here on August 6th here at 23 cents. That was higher than the high here back on July 16th when we had 21 cents. And you are still making higher lows here, I believe. So far so good. This is what the uptrend looks like so far. You could come down back to this uptrend line here at like 11.5 cents. 12 cents before you get a bounce to higher prices here. And then I'm not sure if this is gonna start doing something like this, but you could have like almost like a rising channel and just bounce down and bounce up again, bounce down and bounce up again in between these 2 yellow lines here. So that's something that we need to pay attention to if Mambo decides to do that here. for market structure. But let me go ahead and measure out the Fibonacci now. Now that we know what the high water mark is, down to the lows here. We'll take it down to like the very low for the year. Yeah. And yeah, if this thing comes down to low prices here, don't be surprised if it comes down to like 11 cents. That 0.382 retracement right here creates a higher low, higher than this low back here at 9.5 cents. So 11 cents could be where you get some cheaper Mamo at, and then this thing comes right back up to the golden pocket here at like 15, 16 cents here. Kind of already at the golden pocket right now, but it looks like you're losing it. You're losing the golden pocket. So I think this thing could come down either to 13.5 cents or 11 cents, which is your 0.5 and your 0.382 retracements here. And then looking for upside targets, you know, let's see if it gets back up to 23 cents. But if it goes up higher than that, yeah, you could probably see 28, 29 cents here, which is your 1272 fib extension level for Mamo here. So we'll see. You got to come back on the live stream again and make a request for Mamo. We'll take a look at this chart here. You know, give it a few more days here. See if we get a bounce off 11 cents or 13.5 cents, and then we'll revisit this and see, you know, what the upside targets are going to be going forward. Frank Alamanzi says, everybody's showing charts but not real results and real accounts and real withdrawals. Bro, you don't know what you're doing. Oh, really? He thinks I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go look at my trades here, okay? Mr. I don't know what I'm doing, right? Okay, look at all those trades there in the freaking green right there, okay? Money there. That's money, money, money. Money, money, money. All my trades are in the green. I got 20x long on Pengu, 20x long on AI16Z, 20x long on Grass, 20x long on Cock and You. Maybe that's what you got in you right now. And then 20x long Virtual, okay? 20x long on Zeus. And they're all in the green. Okay, these are my trades here, my trading account on Mexi. I'm sorry, hater wanted to hate on me, and he thought I don't know what I'm doing, and apparently my account says I know what I'm doing. All right, appreciate that. You know, when the haters come in, it's just love. You know, they love to hate. That's just another form of love, and yeah. It's really great to show the results when they're asking for the results. But yeah, yeah, I know what I'm doing, because apparently I'm all in the green here, making money right now. Okay. So I don't just talk about these things; I actually go out and make that money. But appreciate that. That was very funny for you to say that today. Yeah. Mexi Exchange, fun place to trade. It's you know, Mexi Exchange is great because the trading fees are very low, and I actually, you know, Mexi had like a program on July where like it was 0 trading fees. I saved myself like $90 last month by trading on Mexi because there was no fees. And Mexi wants more people to come onto their exchange here. Okay, so yeah, everything's in the green, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. What do you mean AI? I don't really follow ICP like that. Matthew Stahl asked me, do I know what Kita is? No, I don't. That's new to me. But we could take a look at it if I can find it on TradingView. So yeah, Frank, you look dumb today. You should probably not come back on this live stream again unless you want to get, you know, proven wrong again. Yeah, let's see. MMA Squire is in here too. And, Mr. Blinkson saying, where's ETH chart? You can take a look at ETH again. Broad Loss said, white Ethereum going to land in your opinion, guys. I'm not sure what that means. But we got another request here for people. Alright. And then let's see, anything else? Did I miss anything else? I think that's it for now. Alright, so yeah, we'll take a look at Kita and people. Appreciate the request. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Alright, Kita. USD. That was fun, you know, trying to trash a hater. Thinks I don't know what I'm doing, and I show him like all the money I've been making today. That was fun. Bro, you should come back here again and say something stupid like that so I can just show you my gains again. Let's see. Kita currently trading at $1.28. Up 8.7% today. And let's see. What do we got? This thing hasn't been trading that long here. Looks like it started trading on Blowfin on Thursday, May 15th. Okay. And I don't really have that many moving averages here. We only have the 21 EMA, exponential moving average, that white line. Looks like it is kind of using it as support as of now. That's good to see. And you are making higher lows here. Okay, so you're obviously in an uptrend. And then I'm wondering if you could just make this like a symmetrical triangle here, because this looks like you have a downtrend right here. That's getting respected as of now. Okay. So let me go ahead and draw out the Fibonacci for now and see what the fib levels have to say here. Alright. Bam. Alright. So this thing came down, right? Obviously to like 39 cents back here on June 22nd. We're making higher lows, higher highs. You are currently, you can call this an uptrend for now. And we're just now sitting at like, we're basically sitting at the 618 retracement. So you've already made your normal golden pocket retracement. You've hit that level. The next upside level, if we are going to continue to the upside, is $1.44. Could act as resistance. That's your 0.786 retracement here. And then we want to see if we can actually get back up to $1.72. Okay. Now, if we lose our momentum here, and that's possible because we still have a downtrend on this yellow line here, could act as resistance. We could come back down to lower levels here. Maybe revisit 90 cents, which is your 0.382 retracement. So these are your downside targets. 90 cents and also $1.06 is your 0.5 retracement. Those are your downside targets if you were to lose your momentum here. But if you were to continue on the upside, we do have a 1272 fib extension that says $2.09 should be probably take profit target 1, and then take profit target 2 should be the 1618 at $2.55. So those are your upside targets for Kita. And downside targets, we already covered it, 90 cents and $1.06 as of now. Okay. And we'll just have to take a look at this chart again if you come back into the live stream. You know, make a request for Kita and we'll see how it does if it actually breaks out of this symmetrical triangle to the upside here. But don't be surprised if we come and revisit 90 cents all over again, or even $1.06 here. All right, now we'll move on to people. And then, yeah, we'll take a look at Ethereum. We looked at Ethereum earlier in the live stream, but we'll take a look at it again. I'm curious to see if Ethereum has actually broken past $4,100. That's what we were eyeballing for the level for it to break. Actually, we'll take a look at it real quick right now. Ethereum at $4,043, so not yet. It's not doing it yet. All right, going back to looking at people. People currently trading at 0.019 pennies, up 3.4% today. And interesting chart here with moving averages. This thing, as I zoom out, has seen better days back in 2024. even June of 2024 for. How high did this thing get up to? Like almost 13, 14 cents here? Wow, okay. So this thing has taken the beat down since then. But, once again, you are making higher lows here. So you are in an uptrend ever since April. And looks like every time you get up to the 200-day moving average, it acts as resistance. So we had resistance here back in May. We came up above the 200-day moving average, kind of did like a peekaboo, only for us to come right back down, fight the 200-day, and we're still fighting the 200-day moving average as of now. Okay. But yeah, let's see if we can get above the 200-day moving average and actually stay above it. And this thing might be possibly bottoming out. Okay. If the bottom was in on April, you know, this could possibly be the bottoming out for people here. Let's look at the RSI, see if the RSI agrees with bottoming out here. Ooh, okay, look at this. RSI is also showing higher lows here. Okay, keep doing this. This is looking good. It's not quite bullish divergence. You know, bullish divergence would be if it was making lower lows on price and then higher lows on the RSI, which it looks like it did that back here in February going into April. All right. So keep doing this. Keep doing this good work here. And then look at the market cipher B. Right. If I show market cipher B here, you had a green buy dot that came in today, saying that you should be buying people today, because it's probably going to be a few good days and a few good weeks ahead of it, as we probably see more money coming into people. The last time you had a green buy dot was July 8th. And let's see what happened on July 8th, right? On July 8th, you were trading at roughly 0.018 pennies. And then you got all this upside price action where you saw this thing get up as high as 2.5 pennies. So that green buy dot, right? It usually means you should be buying. Okay, so in this case, the green buy dot, market cipher B, says you should buy people today, because you're probably going to see some upside over the next few days, next week. And then also just confirming that, right? Looking at the MACD. You see these red candles are now turning pink, so selling pressure is dying off here on the daily time frame. And it looks like give it like another few more days, you might start seeing some green candles showing up, showing some buying pressure on the MACD for people. And that's just going to reconfirm that you're in an uptrend and you're making money going to higher prices here on people. Upside target for this would probably, let's see if we get back up to like 2.5 cents again. Okay, which is what you were doing back on July 20th. And then, you know, we might get some resistance trying to get back up to these levels here where we're at like 3 and 4 pennies here. Okay, but this thing looks like it could be like a 2x, right? If it gets back up to 4 pennies, you get back up above your highs in May here at like 0.039 pennies. That's a double, right? I'll measure that out right now for you. From where we are right now to there, it's like yeah, 100% gain, a double, 2x. All right, Matthew Stahl, you said you appreciate the info. You're welcome. Dangerous One's asking me how many years I've been trading. I've been trading about 5 years. Since 2020 bull cycle. I've been in crypto since 2017. But I've been you know, trading. You know, I was long-term investing in crypto, but I started taking crypto a little more serious in like 2020. And yeah, I was able to buy Ethereum at like $200, $300, and sell it for like $3,800 in 2021. Enough money to buy put a down payment on a house. And then I bought some, you know, I had some extra cash to buy some Solana back at like $16 when it was at, you know, 2022 after FTX went bankrupt. I bought Bitcoin at $17,000 and I bought Solana at $13. And yeah, I'm doing well enough to try to buy another house. Yep. Is PaxG worth investing in? I think so. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum, and then maybe we'll take a look at PaxG. So I know some guys here, we did title the video Ethereum 4,000, 4K Ethereum. And Ethereum is still at $4,000. And upside targets, you know, if we get past $4,100, I think 1272 could play out where we could see a $4,800 Ethereum. And then maybe later on in 2025, we might see $5,780 Ethereum. That's the 1618. Okay. But on the downside, if Ethereum gets rejected off of $4,100, we might come revisit the 786 retracement at $3,500. All right. Glitz says you shorted Ethereum 17x at 4,061. Okay. I mean, that's not too bad of a short to take. You know, we could get rejected here, and you could be making your money shorting it down to like $3,500. I'm not totally against that, you know. You're trying to sell the top if this is the top. Chris Klein is in here. Good to see you, Chris. Let me know if you have any requests here. We had a hater come in earlier today. It was saying that I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know what I'm talking about. And then I had to show him my gains here, you know. I showed him all the longs I took this today and yesterday, and you know, everything's in the green so far, you know. Zeus, Virtual, Cockanu, Grass, AI16Z, Pango. My Pudgy Penguins is up 217%. My AI16Z is up 258. Grass. I didn't even I have a Solana long too on Coinbase Exchange. I'm up like $200 on that one too. So like, I don't know why the haters decided to come out today, but they did, and you know, it was fun. It was fun showing the haters how wrong they are. You want me to talk about Ondo? We can take a look at Ondo. And let's take a look at PaxG. For my buddy was asking me about, you know, is it good enough? Is it good to get into PaxG? So we'll get PaxG, and then we'll take a look at Ondo. You want me to check out ICP? Okay, I'll write that down. And I think those are going to be the last requests I'll be taking for today. Because I got some other things I need to do today. I need to go make some dinner. Well, let me see if did I miss anything? I think I got all the requests so far. Alright, alright. Molo, what am I missing out on? Oh, you're talking about ICP. Okay. Alright, and then I have somebody here that likes looking at the BRVP here. Alright, PaxG, I don't know. Let me look at a different chart for PaxG. I want more data. The more data, the better. PaxG, USD. Take a look at on Binance. Sure, yeah. Okay, so PaxG is a cryptocurrency that tracks the price of gold on a one-to-one basis. So you can actually redeem it for gold if you want to, but it acts as a cryptocurrency, so you can send it to your various wallets wherever you need to send it to. And PaxG is currently trading at $3,389. Not really doing much today. We'll look at the daily time frame here for PaxG. And let's see. PaxG just looks fine, you know, making higher lows on the daily time frame here. However, lower highs here, not so good. So PAX G is also making like kind of like a symmetrical triangle to some extent here. This is just what it looks like. So we're just consolidating on PAX G. And you might not get any resolution. Like, we could just keep trading sideways, maybe go down, maybe go up here. But we're basically staying near 33.89 for the most part. And the resolution, according to this symmetrical triangle, says that we might not see any resolution. We might not see a significant move on gold on PAX G until like October later on this year. I'm not sure why that's going to be the case. Maybe a bank goes bankrupt, a big bank goes bankrupt, and that could cause the price of gold to make a significant move. Maybe they start lowering interest rates in the next couple of months, and that could also affect the price of gold here. But it looks like we're just in a holding pattern on PAX G, and we've been in this holding pattern ever since April. I mean, we have gone down to low prices here at like $3,100, and then we've seen us get as high as like $34.86, $35, almost $3,500 here. But PAX G is just kind of chilling out, but it's chilling out after already making a significant move. So, like, I mean, give it a little bit of a break here. Like, we've already had, you know, the best days and best weeks all throughout 2025 here, and now we're just consolidating. And if we look at the RSI, let's see what the RSI is looking like. Yeah, I mean, we were overbought on the RSI back in February, and even back here in April. Okay, and I just think gold had its day because of tariff situation and government debt kind of exploding. But we've already passed most of the big bills. Like, the big beautiful bill got passed. All right, so we already know how much money the government's spending. And tariffs is coming down. I mean, they are putting tariffs on certain countries that they're trying to punish, but for the most part, if the countries start working with the United States on trade deals here, then tariffs shouldn't really be an issue, and that probably means the price of gold is not going to really go up as we get more resolution from the tariffs and people start feeling better about the economy, and they'll take money out of their gold and actually put it into the stock market. So I think that's what's affecting gold right now, is that gold had its heyday earlier this year, and now we don't have any more positive catalysts to send the price of gold up right now. But it could happen later on this year. We could see gold go up higher. Let's just look at market cipher B here real quick, because I think let me move this up. Market cipher B saying August 2nd was a good day to buy gold. That's interesting. And yeah, we did have like a green candle that showed up here on Friday. Gold went up 2%. That's a pretty big deal. I think it's like a $10 trillion market. For it to go up 2% in one day, that's a lot. That's saying a lot right there. But I'm not sure how much more analysis I could do on gold. Just saying that, you know, we could come down to $3,200 again, and then we'll probably not go as high as $3,450. And it's just, the symmetrical triangle is probably going to play out until we get some resolution, a big news event. Duality C's in the chat. Okay, and yes, we're going to look at Ondo. Chris is asking me, do I hold any Floki? And then you said, besides Litecoin, it's my definite most favorite altcoin by far. I don't hold Floki, but I know that Floki has been doing pretty well the last couple of days, this past week here. Alright, so we looked at PAX G. Now we'll take a look at ICP. And then we'll look at Ondo. Alright, ICP, Internet Computer, trading at $5.45 right now. Look at the daily time frame here. Let's see. Oh, I have highlighted some previous chart work. I did identify that there was a double bottom on ICP. We saw ICP get as low as $4.18 on April 7th, and then we saw it do it, you know, $4.33 on June 22nd. And that was mainly, you know, the 90-day pause on tariffs and stuff like that. And then also we had, you know, America dropping bombs on Iran, and that caused a scare in the market here. So we got the double bottom that plays in, so maybe we don't see those prices again, ever again, hopefully, for ICP. And I'm just getting rid of some of this previous chart work here. I did highlight to the upside here, $6.37 is a level that ICP needs to get above. And I think I'll throw in the VRVP here real quick so you can understand why I did that. Okay. If I turn on the VRVP, get the green and red indicator to the right, or the heat map, as my buddy in the chat is saying here. And yeah, you do have a high volume node here at 637. Okay. And 637 is also a area where we kind of got rejected off of a bunch of times here in June and March of 2025. It also acted as a support area here in August of 2024. And also back here in 2023, we saw some sideways trading action at $6.37. So 637 is a take profit target if we do get up that price here for ICP, and I still think it holds true for now. But also, if we were to go to the upside here, the 200-day moving average might act as resistance at $5.76. This is where your 200-day moving average is sitting at. So maybe take profit target 1 is 576, take profit target 2, 637, especially if you're day trading it. But I'm going to just zoom out here some more. I'm going to turn on VRVP again. Upside targets, if you make it past 637, you have a high volume node here at $7.10. Could be another take profit target. And then you get a gap, and then you got another high volume node here at $8. Then another gap. And then you got a high volume node here at $9.25. So you can use this VRVP to help figure out, you know, your take profit targets as we go to upside on ICP. If ICP can catch the bid and actually get up back to where it was in January of 2025 when we saw a $10, $11 ICP. Let's see, I'm trying to read the chat here. Chris is saying a lot of things here. Oh, Forrester, you're welcome. You're welcome for the help. If you haven't subscribed or followed the channel, go ahead and follow me so you can see me on the next live stream. Alright, Chris is saying, so I've also heard that one day people will be able to receive Floki as a pension and 401k. Bitcoin was the first, of course, and right here in Wisconsin was pretty cool to hear that last June. That's interesting. As part of a 401k and pension? That's crazy. And you say can't wait until they start doing it with other coins. Things need to settle down a bit, though I say like more stability and less volatility. Who knows if that will ever happen, though. Just doesn't seem to be the nature of the beast. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if they put meme coins in somebody's pension plan. That would be very interesting. If they did that, I would expect it to be Dogecoin, since Dogecoin's been around and hasn't gone anywhere, and they have a lot of data on it. And I think Dogecoin can also handle all the volume from a pension plan that's trying to buy into it, because they got enough coins, enough liquidity. We'll get rid of the VRVP for now. Alright, moving on to Ondo. And then we'll finish off on Bitcoin. Alright, Ondo currently trading out at $1.02. Currently up 1.3% today. And it's nice to see that Ondo is getting above the 200-day moving average again, after it tried doing that here back in middle of July here. So there shouldn't really be too much upward resistance, except for the level that it made back here on July 22nd, where we saw Ondo at $1.17. So that could be your next take profit target. $1.17, $1.16, you should sell something, maybe, at that level. Well, I think I'm going to pull up the VRVP one more time here and see where Ondo could go next. Alright. So, with the VRVP here, once you get past like $1 on Ondo, alright, what did I do with Ondo? I kind of messed things up. Yeah, once you get past where we're at, if we can keep doing what we're doing with Ondo, there's not that much resistance until you get to the $1.17. But then, even then, really, you don't really get a high volume node until like $1.33. Your value area high is that white line right above you is where Ondo could go. That's another 30% increase in the price from where Ondo is trading at right now. And that $1.33 level is a level that people were buying and selling Ondo at back here in January of 2025. But then get past $1.33 and you don't even have that much resistance, you know, on Ondo until maybe you get to like $1.73 or even $2. I think this VRVP is very helpful to use here on Ondo, trying to figure out what the upside targets are. And I think $1.33 is your next take profit target on Ondo. 33% increase from where you are right now. And of course, you know, if Ondo does come down to the downside here, you know, we'll see if it can hold the 200-day moving average at 96 cents. But if it can't, you got the point of control, this blue line, at like 92, 91 cents. Should hold as support, and maybe you might be lucky enough to buy some cheaper Ondo at 91, 92 cents here. I wouldn't try to put 90 cents because I feel like a lot of people would do that because it's an even number, but it looks like 91, 92 cents is the sweet spot, and you could front run all those people who are waiting for 90 cents on Ondo. But yeah, I think Ondo's doing quite fine as of now. I think we'll see $1.33 sooner rather than later here for Ondo. Alright, let's move on to Bitcoin. And then that's going to be it for this live stream here, guys. Alright, so price of Bitcoin currently trading at $116,450. And we're down on Bitcoin, interesting enough, but the altcoins are catching bids here. Let me get rid of the VRVP for now, kind of clean things up a little bit. If Bitcoin is trying to make a lower high here, then we could end up revisiting 113.7k all over again. That's that 618 fib retracement, the golden pocket level here. I'm not sure if we're actually going to come back down to 112k, but 112k did act as support on Sunday and Saturday of last weekend, right? And I already highlighted this purple buy zone here. If Bitcoin does go below 112k and actually maybe comes down to the 50-day moving average at 108k, I would be buying Bitcoin. I'd be clicking the buy button on Bitcoin, okay? Because you got the 0.382 and the 0.5 retracement levels. That sits nice and snug in between those two levels. And then you also got the 50-day moving average, should act as support for the guys who use moving averages. They're probably going to be buying Bitcoin at 108, 109k here, okay? So I think we still have some good support here on Bitcoin, and that's also a zone that we've traded at. It has some sideways trading action at that level there. So I think 108, 109k Bitcoin, if you're lucky enough to get some at that level, should be a good support zone for Bitcoin. Now, if Bitcoin decides to get its act together here, come join the altcoin party and go to higher prices, then yeah, we'll see if Bitcoin how it handles itself at 123k here. And then I still think the 1272 fib extension could come into play, where we could see $130,000 Bitcoin maybe later on in August. And maybe we see the 1618, $138,000 Bitcoin, maybe sometime in September. Okay, so we still have those levels to look for to the upside on Bitcoin. But I think Bitcoin taking a break, and the altcoins are taking advantage of that fact that Bitcoin's taking a break, and they're going for a run here. And as you can see, most coins are in the green here. as I show you off to the right. Looks like notable gainers here are Ethereum, obviously, having a good day. Aptos having a good day as well at 5.4%. Aerodrome out of nowhere up 17%, back above $1. And yeah, you can find some more. Chainlink also having a good day as well at 6.3%. So looks like altcoin season is kicking into full gear here. Don't let the haters bring you down, because price of Bitcoin ain't going down. And if it does, it's just temporary. Just another buy the dip opportunity, in my opinion. Because we got a lot of support between 108 and 112K, in my opinion. But do what you want to do. I'm not a financial advisor. If you think this is the top of Bitcoin, if you want to put in some shorts, that doesn't hurt to have some hedge shorts in case we do top off over here and have to come back down. But the one thing I want to leave off today, and I know this might seem a little bit ridiculous, but every time we have a full moon, guys, the price of Bitcoin goes up. It doesn't go down. For those of you who want to short Bitcoin and short crypto, I just turn on the moon cycle indicator here, okay? And I'm going to show you what this full moon does, okay? Every time we have a full moon, look what happens, right? Price goes up, all right? New moon, price goes down. Full moon, price goes up, okay? Maybe you might get one outlier where it doesn't really do that, okay? But look at this, full moon here in July. Look what happened on July 10th. We had a full moon. Price went up. New moon, we didn't go up. And we didn't go down either. We just went sideways. And then we kind of went down. But look, we're getting a full moon here. Alright. Later on tonight, I believe. Going into tomorrow. Let me just check it real quick here. See, we got a full moon August 9th. Yeah, it says at 8 o'clock a.m. Alright, so literally tonight. And what happens after a full moon? Price goes up. It always seems to do that every time we have a full moon, right? Like, look at on the full moon here in April. Look at that. That nice juicy price action to the upside. Come on, come on. As stupid as it might seem, this thing does seem to work. Okay? And in my opinion, I just noticed that the full moons have usually been around like the first or second week of the month over the past year. And I just think what ends up happening is after people are done paying their mortgages or their rent for the month, they actually have a little bit extra money on the first or second week of the month, and they're able to buy Bitcoin and buy crypto. So I think that's what's going on after people pay their rent or mortgage. And then also you have to take into account there are some cryptocurrency holders out there that have a lot of there's like some crypto whales out there that have a lot of money. They're using their crypto sometimes to basically pay their rent. They'll sell a little bit of their crypto, take some profits, and then pay their rent. And then after that, after they pay their rent, they don't have to sell their crypto anymore. So there might be a little bit of that going on. And I think that's what's going on with the full moon cycles. If you ever hear another YouTuber or TikTok guy talking about the full moon cycles, you can say, yeah, Meet Damien thinks it has more to do with people paying off their mortgages and rent at the beginning of the month, because the full moon happens around the beginning of the month for like the past year now. But that's just my opinion, not financial advice. You do whatever you guys want to do. But I appreciate you guys coming on to the Meet Damien channel. Be on the lookout for my next live stream. I'm taking tomorrow off. Maybe you might see me on Sunday afternoon. We'll plan on seeing each other on Sunday afternoon. A little bit earlier than this time. If I go live on Sunday, I'll probably be like 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time is when I'll go live. Okay? But yeah, that's going to be it for this live stream. And good luck in investing in whatever asset you decide to get into, guys. Take care.
Welcome guys, I am Damien, and in today's video, it's going to be a tutorial about the volume range visual profile indicator